Southwest Florida, and all of you that are streaming live. You are tuning in to Divine Destiny Radio Show. I'm your host, Jamisha Salette, better known as Lady J, and I also have my co-host and a special guest in today. Ladies, say hello.
Hey, Southwest Florida.
I think they're cute today, too. Y'all to see them, they think they're so cute.
I don't think I'm cute.
You know you cute. Give me some.
This is your co-host, Kentrella Kennedy, a.k.a. Trella Bella. How y'all doing today?
And this is your co-host as well, Angela Bryan, also known as NGB.
All right. Our guest today is Kellee Pratt, Lee County school teacher. We are so excited to have her on the show today. Say hello to the audience, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today, guys. I really
No,
appreciate
thank you.
it.
Yes, no, we thank you.
You know, I'm so honored here. You know.
Today's segment is entitled "The Truth About Education and Communication." You know how we always do it. We always define what we're talking about, and we always give you scripture reference to go with it. So, Ms. Trella, can you read what education and communication is?
Education, in the largest sense, is any act or experience that has a formative effect on the mind, character, or physical ability of an individual. In its technical sense, education is the process by which society deliberately transmits its accumulated knowledge, skills, and values from one generation to another. Now, as for communication is the activity of conveying meaningful information. Communication requires a sender, a message, and an intended recipient, although the receiver need not to be present or aware of the sender's intent to communicate at the time of communication. Thus, communication can occur across vast distances in time and space. Communication requires that the communicating parties share an area of communicative commonality. The communication process is complete once the receiver has understood the sender.
What I want to do is I want to ask you, what does education mean to you? Can you define education in your own words?
Well, I actually like the definition that you guys have here.
Mm-hmm.
But more than that, definitely the part about passing on information from one generation to another.
Exactly. That's in the word.
That is a great definition for education, because what are we doing? We're passing on knowledge from one generation to the next generation. And education don't just happen in the classroom. It happens outside of the classroom, too.
Yeah. A lot of times it's not even about it being verbal.
Right.
You know, the best things are taught by your actions.
That's right.
You know, your kids learn a lot more by what you do than what you say.
And we were hitting that on the Mother's Day topic last week. We were talking about your mother in the kitchen and singing, and even though it wasn't taking effect that she was teaching you to be bold, but that boldness came out of you. That was something that she had planted in you before you even knew it. So.
Communication has become so broad now. It's more than just I get a phone call on the landline, or you know, I send a letter, snail mail.
Through the mail, right.
You know, now it's like instantaneously. It's not, you don't have to wait to get home anymore. You're getting it on your phone. But it's body language, communication through our body language, you know, through the eye contact. It's just so many different things. I mean, even through sound, you know. People make these crazy sounds, you know, let you know I'm in the place. You know, I ain't going to go there because it's a little ghetto. I was thinking, who you are? Oh, look, raspy things, so I can't get her. Hush, Kellee.
I want to say this. We kind of touched on it a little bit about just body language. Your kids, our kids, look at us. I mean, they look at us all the time.
Right.
And sometimes it's not even anything that you may say, but it's maybe something you do. And so that's why we always got to be careful what we do around kids, because they're so impressionable.
Yes,
and
they
they'll
are.
pick up on things quickly. And next thing you know, you see the little kid dropping it like it's hot.
She's going there.
I'm going there. You know, if I see a little baby, you almost one, you're not even one yet, you still in diapers, you drop it like it's hot. Where did they get that from?
Right.
And it's what the parents are communicating to their child, and they're picking up on that stuff.
Right. Well, Miss Angie B, we always have Miss Angie B read the scripture for us before we really delve into everything. We want to talk about Proverbs 4 and 7. And actually, you can just continue on and read Proverbs 23 and 23 as well.
Okay. Proverbs 4 and 7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. It don't matter if you're getting education. If you don't understand, somebody can stand in front of you all day and, breathe word out and education to you, stuff that's supposed to empower you. But if you ain't understanding what they putting down, it's a problem. So for me, I'm a question anything. If I don't understand what you're talking about, okay, can you break that down for me so that I can understand what the process is here? So that's very important for you to get anywhere. Secondly, Proverbs 23:23, it says, buy the truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding.
Buy the truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding. The kids are ashamed to ask questions.
Right.
Like you and I say, if we don't understand it, we're going to ask you. I'm going to ask you 5 times until I get it. Show it to me.
Right.
If I can't get it by you verbalize, write it down.
But you have to train a child.
Right, exactly.
You have to be able to train them to know what to ask, ask the right question. And if you don't know what the right question is, ask it anyway.
Right.
And we have to train kids because we
That's
get
right.
to the point where we say, no, don't talk or don't say anything. If it's an adult, don't talk to them or don't say nothing. But there is a way to ask questions without being disrespectful or just give an attitude. You can ask questions and still be answered in the correct ways.
I know a lot of people feel like their question is stupid. They don't want to feel embarrassed about asking their question. And what stands out to me in communication, although a teacher may be standing at the board writing, that's her method of communication to the kids. But the last sentence in our definition for communication, it says the communication process is complete once the receiver has understood the sender. So it don't matter how much you stand at the board and write your butt off, until they get what you're putting down, you're wasting your time.
Right.
So if they can't ask you the question, which they're in your classroom to be empowered, they're in a position where they're trying to get the information. But if they don't understand you, you're wasting your time.
Yeah. Let me just read this little statement that I found really quick. Today's study confirms that what we've known for a long time. States are setting the bar too low. In all but a few cases, states aren't expecting students to meet NAEP's, which is National Assessment of Education Progress Standard of Proficiency. Far too many states are telling students that they are proficient. Far too many, let me get this right, I want to make sure. Far too many states are telling students that they are proficient when they actually are performing below NAEP's basic level, at a time when we should be raising standards to compete in the global economy. More states are lowering the bar than raising it. We're lying to our children when we tell them they're proficient, but they're not achieving at a level that will prepare them for success once they graduate.
Wow.
Now that right there is scary. When you're thinking, this is our future. These are the future teachers, if any.
Right.
These are the future nurses and doctors, if any. Lawyers, if any. Policemen, if any. You know what I mean? We're hearing all these things about the arts and taking arts out of school. Yeah. So we want Miss Kellee to talk to us about the arts program.
Definitely, as a person who came up in a school system where arts was big and an arts student herself, there is so much that the arts has done for my life. I mean, I don't want to say I probably would have been somewhere else because my parents was, they kept me online, so I think I would have been okay, but I think my school life would have been a little bit different if I hadn't had the arts, if I hadn't been in music and the different programs that I was part of. It did so much for me. My grades were so great because I had to keep a grade point average to stay in music programs.
Right.
And so that kept me, doing well. And we didn't have any behavior issues because behavior issues got you kicked out of the music program.
Right, exactly. I mean, the kids, that's the problem now. They're in things because a lot of places, they don't have anything for them to do. Or they have it, but the parents can't afford it.
Right.
So when they're in school, I mean, keeping them out of trouble is one thing, but the thing is now, they don't have anything to make them use their minds to be creative, to think of inventing new things or just new songs or artwork and things like that.
Discipline is a big thing tied to the arts. Because you have to be disciplined in order to play an instrument or be disciplined to
learn all
to
this
use
new
your voice.
music.
You have to be disciplined to dance. There's a discipline that follows that. And kids learn that from the arts. And so I think that's a great thing, and I just hope we can keep it in the school system because there there are so many people in our world today who have benefited from it. I really want to, and this is for me, this is something very important, but I want to really put the fact that the most important thing that these kids have are parent involvement in the schools. I have this parent and this little girl, African American family. Every morning I watch this mom bring her daughter to school, and before she can even get to the front door, the mom has hugged her a couple of times, made sure she, looks good. She's a little sixth grader. I have the child in my class, and that mom, grade slip just a little bit, not much. Mom already on the phone. Miss Pratt, what's going on? What's going on with this child? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we wait till it's too late,
Right.
to start getting involved with our child's, education. We want to get them to high school, and all of a sudden in high school they're struggling, and we don't know why.
Right.
Because we didn't start early enough.
Right.
Okay, you can't wait to high school to say,
to teach them
my
good study
child's
habits and all that
my
stuff.
child's struggling in math. What's going on with that? You have to start while they're young. That first time little John to get in trouble in school, you need to be out there figuring out what's going on, with your child.
Right.
And I think that's the difference between now and then. I still have some very involved parents. I will say that. But when we talk about our African American parents, I don't see as much.
Right.
Not on my side. I don't see them getting involved as much.
We only have a few minutes left, so I just wanted to read a few statistics about the repercussions of what could happen for those parents that are not involved, that don't take the time to sit down and find out what's going on with your kids, that are not looking at the report cards, that are not looking at the interims to try to fix it before it gets to the report cards. We're going to talk about the dropout rate real quick. Dropouts are substantially more likely to rely on public assistance than those with a high school diploma. The estimated lifetime revenue loss for male dropouts ages 25 to 34 is $944 billion.
Oh my God.
Dollars.
That's why we're in debt.
Wow. Dropouts cost our
country is in
nation.
debt.
Dropouts cost our nation more than $260 billion. That's in lost wages, lost taxes, and lost productivity over their lifetimes.
Wow.
In federal dollars that will buy you 10 years of research at the National Institute of Health. The statistic bears repeating. Every 9 seconds in America, a student becomes a dropout.
Wow.
Understand and excel as well as the at the same pace as the others, if not better. Another thing is family issues. Pregnancy was one of the reasons cited by young girls for leaving school. Young men and women who became parents stated that was why they did not finish their education. Early marriage may mean that a person will not stick around long enough to graduate either. That's for the ones that are getting pregnant. They're getting married. Well, they feel like they're grown now. I don't need to work. I mean, I don't need to go to school. I have to get a job. Problems in school. Kids who don't like school are not very motivated to stay. Failing grades, again, were given as a reason for dropping out by some teens. Personality conflicts with teachers may also push students out the door. Consequences of dropping out of high school. No matter what the cause of high school dropouts, the causes are of them dropping out, there are definite consequences to leaving school before graduating. Fewer opportunities in employment and education. Long gone are the days when a young person could get a good paying job without finishing high school. A diploma is becoming a prerequisite for a number of entry-level jobs. If you are planning on going on to college or university, you need to have a high school diploma first. That's what we're going to do. I just want to have, we literally have 1 minute left. I just want to have our guests too, if you have any final comments or just things that anything that you want to say to encourage the parents or any students that may be listening.
It can't be done. I sit here and I think about, and I'm so thankful to God that I had, good parents that, pushed me to be educated and go to college and do things. It's funny, I can talk to some of my students and they say, Miss Pratt, you're doing real good. I say, you know why? I went to school, and though it sometimes was boring and I didn't like it all the time, I did it, and it helped me to be where I am now, and hopefully one day you guys will be there too. And so the encouragement is that they can do it. Yes, you can. You can do it. You just have to believe in it and believe in yourself and just work hard. Because nothing comes easy.
That's right.
Nothing comes easy.
That's
And
right.
so the kids just need to work hard. And even if you don't have someone pushing you, push yourself.
That's right. Be like David.
Yes, be self-motivated. You do it. Do it for yourself. I tell my kids that all the time. Don't do it for anyone else. You don't have to do it for me. Do it for yourself.
That's right.
Because it's going to be you ultimately who needs to live your life.